What's up guys, welcome back to another loadout building video, and today I'm going to be running with Gochujang's idea, which was basically letting a wheel decide the core of my loadout and the budget that I'm going to build. So part of the idea with this was we're going to put 10 pairs of gloves onto a wheel, we're going to spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, we have to use that pair of gloves to build the themed loadout, and then there's going to be 5 budget options that go onto a wheel. We spin that, whatever that is the budget I work with for all the other skins I have to get. So the gloves that are going on the wheel, I've been trying to mix up. So the first pair are going to be the Hydra gloves, case hardened. We then have the Moto gloves, blood pressure, for that red and black vibe. We have the pair that I'm kind of hoping we don't get because it's the transport gloves. The Queen Jaggers on the other end, I think I could cook something with those. To give myself a tricky option, we're putting the bronze morph in there as well. On the PAL side, that could give us a very interesting sort of base to build a loadout with. The yellow bandits, honestly, wouldn't be too bad to build something with it, especially if we ended up on the lower budget. I had to slip in a personal favour of the foundations, of course. Look how clean they look. The marble fade would give us something interesting to work around. And then finally, since the concept was his idea, and I know he likes him, Gochujang's coolments are going to be the 10th one that goes on the wheel. Alright, you can see all 10 are in. As I say, there's only one I'm worried about, and it's the transport. And there's a 50-50 chance either I get it or I don't. What gloves are we building the loadout around? Please don't be the transport. It's going to be the PAL, I think, which I think I can cook a pretty good loadout. It is going to be the PAL. Okay, we'll take that. And then you can see I put 5 budgets. So we've got $125, $2,000, $1,337, $400, and $900. I'm going to duplicate them in here just so we've got 10 in the wheel again, make it a bit more interesting. This budget is going to determine what basically is what I have to get a knife to pair with the gloves, and then all the weapon skins. Please stay 1337 because that's a decent amount to work with. I'll take it. So, Motogov PAL are already in there, and we've got $1,300 basically to build the loadout. Now, the price of the gloves is not included in that $1,300 budget. What I'm thinking is, do we go minimal wear or field test for the gloves? And I think purely for visuals, maybe minimal wear. I think it gives that nice sort of visual representation, and obviously if you do want to get field test or battle scarred, you'll be mindful that it comes with the scuff. So, let me cook this loadout now. I've now cooked the loadout and I'm happy with how it came out. So I'm going to run with the minimal wear gloves. Obviously, they're not part of the budget as we discussed. What is part of the budget though is the stiletto fade, which is the knife I'm going to go for because I love how this pairs with the PAL gloves. Now, factory news is going to run you about $780. Obviously, fades have fade percentage, so that can vary the pricing as well. But what I like about this is it has that little brown bit. Well, actually, the brown handle in general, if you see here. It's got the brown handle. When you're holding it normally, though, that brown bleeds into the brown bit of the gloves. But then that sort of whitey accent you get off the PAL then just sort of bleeds into the rest of the fade. Overall, I really like how this combo comes together. And I think it's a little bit unique as well, which is always nice. Now, agent-wise, CT, I think you probably should go with a sleeveless agent, but I use him so much I wanted to go for something different, and for some reason now it's not showing the agent here, which is a little bit weird. Normally I can press B and it would show the agent. But this is 3rd Commando Company. All you need to see is the sleeves, really. That's the main thing. $8 to get this. And it has little bits of that orangey, reddy, brown that pairs in with bits of the gloves, but it's not perfect. Probably go sleeveless instead. And then T side, I went for Dragomir Saber Foot Soldier, which is $5. I could have gone for much more, but I actually quite like how the accent colors on the bottom of the sleeves and then like the sleeves themselves are pairing to all the different colors we have going on in the gloves. Overall, I think it's pretty cool, and I actually think this for $5, if you're going for a loadout theme like this, is definitely worth it. Now, for the USP, I normally wouldn't suggest this, but I decided, you know what, we have to lean into the theme, and it's going to be the business class, just over $33 this on minimal wear. Those brown accents are 100% playing in nicely, and I think when you're using it in-game like this, you can see why it fits. Then for me, the Royal Legion became an absolute no-brainer for the Glock. This one is much cheaper compared to the USP. It's actually under $3, but that sort of like browny, orangey tone into the silver on top, and then when you're using it in-game like this, I think it comes together quite nicely. We get one of my absolute favorite skins in the game on the Desert Eagle. It is going to be the Fennec Fox. Now, the PAL gloves have this real nice mix of different colors on it, and they basically match perfectly with a Fennec Fox. And I've gone for a souvenir version in Field Tester, which is $160. It is our most expensive weapon skin here, but look how good it looks. You're going to be using it on both CT and T. Perfect. Now, I actually got a craft on the AK, which you can see it is a 4X Fanatic 2014 paper craft from DreamHack, and then it's on the Wasteland Rebel minimal wear. The combined cost for this, if you were to buy the stickers just like from any market you could, and then apply them yourself, would be $138 in total. This was because we had some buffer and I wanted to get something a little bit creative on it, and I thought these stickers are pretty cool on a Wasteland Rebel, like old skin, old stickers come together kind of nicely. But then when it comes to the Emperor 1S, I wanted to just sort of play in on the other colors that exist on it. So player 2 for me was really good for this. It's got lots of orange colors and orange accents, and you can see where like you hold it with the PAL gloves, it kind of blends in nicely with the orange. But then, because the gloves, when you use it like this, it's mostly orange and white, and this is a blue, orange, and white skin, I thought it just came together super nicely. I've said that a lot this video, bloody hell. It does come together super nicely, and it's under $50. And then I went for the unusual pick for the A4. I went Royal Paladin for just over the $16 mark. This is definitely an interesting one. There are Asimovs, there are cyber securities. Either of those would work. I just thought, you know, like with that weird off-white color in the gloves plus the orange, let's try something different. You guys can let me know if it works or not. It's at this point I should remember that we're running a giveaway. This is day 2 of our 12 days of Christmas, and the giveaway prize for today is going to be the Mac 10 Sabai Oni in minimal wear. If you want to have a chance of winning this, all you have to do is leave a comment down below with your favorite skin from today's video. Make sure you're subscribed, and then also hit that like button. I'll pick the winner in a few days' time. Make sure you're in the Discord so you don't miss it, and let's get back to it. For me, the mortars is perfect for this kind of thing. I know people may want to go maybe boom. To be fair, boom could play in better with the orange, but for the browns that exist on the gloves as well, I thought, you know what, we could go for the mortars and just kind of vibe it out. But we do have some buffer in the loadout, so if you wanted to go for a field test at boom, you would be able to. My MP9 pick was a rose iron. There's just something about this skin and how it pairs with the gloves I thought worked together really nicely. Nice mix of orange and like the red, almost a browniness to it as well. Super cool. I then had my favorite when it comes to the Mac 10, which is the Allure. This is another one with this mix of colors, especially the white and the oranges and those sort of brown tones. I think you see here when you're holding it normally, comes together pretty well. And then I think for the first time ever, I get to include a P250 Red Rock in a loadout video. Now this is $7.50. It's minimal wear. The shades aren't perfect, but I kind of fuck with this. This is a skin I don't get to suggest too much, so I'm just kind of happy I get to use it in a loadout that actually fits. Now, some of the lower tiered skins I tried not to overspend on, like the Julian Dragons with the Joe Brettas. These are 34 cent. They pair out nicely, does the job super sweet. And then the Retribution, much like the P250 Red Rock, this one I have used in loadouts before, but I don't get to use it too much. And I think here, when you're inspecting it, you can see why it fits this loadout and this vibe so well. It's $1.44. It's like a perfect fit in. Like the gloves internally sort of like off-white colors, and the bottom of the gun are almost perfect, which is really hard to get in CS. I've gone for the good old orange DD pack, one of the oldest skins in the game here. It is going to be just under $19 for minimal wear, which you might think is a bit much to pay for a minimal wear skin that's this old. You could argue basic, but it is pattern based. And I think you can do some even just cheap crafts on this. It will look super good. Now, for me, the Famous was a bit of a no-brainer because the Eye of Athena exists for just over $12, or about $12.50 in Factory New. It's a skin that wears badly, so you do want Factory New and you do want a good float. But when you're talking browns and oranges that come together with this loadout, just look at it right here. It's pretty much perfect. Now, over on the Mag 7, there was nothing that really sort of stole the show for me. But you can get the heat for under $1 in minimal wear, and it's probably the best bet. Argument could be made for the Insomnia, but I know some people just find that skin very goofy and don't like it. An interesting pairing for me was the XM Incinerator, because I looked at it, I was like, oh, you know what, it's a lot of green at the back, but actually when you hold it with that left hand is when it starts to go into this sort of like orange yellow, and when you inspect, I think it pairs up pretty well. We may agree to disagree on the Tech 9. I just went to the Mummy's Rock. I was looking through the options that were kind of like this browniness. I don't like the safety net, so I didn't want to use it. And I was like, you know what? Mummy Rock's my personal favorite. I think it doesn't clash too much. It kind of fits in, so we'll just lock it in. On the P250, I could have gone for a Bengal Tiger as well, but I did prefer the Red Rock. For the AUG, I am going to go Bengal Tiger, but it is almost $9. It is minimal wear, and you can see where the wear is coming in, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's still the best option we have, and we have budget for it, so we may as well. Another skin that I knew instantly I was going to put in the loadout is the Tiger Moth. $1.27 for this minimal wear. Again, color-wise, hits so many of the notes that we want with the orange, with the brown, and then I think there was like sort of those grayish silver colors, then just playing nicely anyway as a neutral like they always do. And then the last skin, always as it is, a Scout, it's going to be a Death's Head, and it's $7.50, and that means the total cost for this loadout, keep in mind it excludes the glove price because we got them from the wheel. The knife, which is this little fade, and all the weapon skins will cost you $1,262.28. So we had a budget of $1,337. We have left $74.72 buffer here. And when I did this, I just didn't want to run through and force spend it anymore, because I think across the board, you could go and get more expensive agents if you want, and you could eat that budget immediately. That's fair. Maybe you don't like the agent choices. But when it comes to player skins, when it comes to weapon skins, I think the only one that really has a conversation is that Emperor A4. Maybe you want to go get like an Asimov or a cybersecurity instead and use the budget there, or you want to spend it on crafts. You can do that however you want to. But I would like to find out what you guys thought of this concept. Did you like this whole idea of like putting options on a wheel and then seeing what it gave me and trying to build from it, because it sort of forces me into a different creativity route and you guys get something a bit more unique? Or do you prefer the old school sort of video format where I just pick the theme budget that I want and I cook something great? Please let me know in the comments down below. Remember, at the end of that giveaway, and make sure that you're in the Discord, so if you do win, you can claim it. And outside of that one, I'm going to end it there. A big thank you if you made it this far. A big thank you to each of the members that continue to support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.